Welcome back to More Sip the Talent. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and today, as you can see by the thumbnail, we're gonna tackle a subject that has to deal with the Dallas Cowboys. So even the little backstory on how I even got to this. My sister's a huge Dallas Cowboy fan, so I wanted to kind of do this, so she'll have something to come to my channel and watch. But also, while doing work throughout the week, I was over watching or listening to Botch Lombardi, and he, if you don't know, he's an avid Cowboy YouTuber and part of the volume also. And he mentioned Tony Pollard, and I've always been a fan of Tony Pollard, especially more so this year even than often because he was on my fantasy team, and I would notice that he would outgain Zeke throughout the season. And so, without really watching a lot of their game tape, I was like, well, Pollard probably is better than Zeke. And so, being in his chat and then hearing him say Zeke should probably take a step back, I wanted to go see what they were talking about. And so, from this playoff game Monday night, Pollard had 15 carries for 70 some odd yards. Let me be correct. 77 yards. And Zeke had 13 carries for 27 yards. Huge discrepancy in yardage. 15 carries for 77. Zeke had 13 carries for 27. And I wish, let's see if I got time to put the season stats right quick. Y'all bear with me for a minute. Let me go to teams. Dallas Cowboys. Season stats. Here we go. Rushing and receiving. So, Tony Pollard had a G. Tony Pollard had 1,007 yards. Zeke had 874. And Zeke had 38 more carries than Pollard. But let's get into the film and see what TP did or what he does to outshine Zeke, so to speak. Do they have a running back controversy in my bad? Do they have a running back controversy in Dallas or not? Let's see. I take myself off. Let's get into this film. Pollard's highlighted back there. It's a regular old toss play. And he had a bunch of 5-yard runs in this game, but he also had some explosives. But we're going to take a look at the short runs first. All right, at this point right here, a lot of people would have just tried to outrun this guy to the sideline and got what he could get. But you got to realize he's coming, got this guy coming, and Devin White's probably going to try to get off this block and then make a tackle. He decides to forget it. I'm going to get north and south, and this little stutter step right here is going to get him another 5 yards. He ended up going to getting tackled right there. He got little subtle moves that gives him advantage. He got the little hezzy, he got the stutter step, and he got straight up fakes, and he can blow past you. He got all that. And kind of all that what Zeke used to have. And we know Zeke got a ton of carries at Ohio State, a ton of carries when he first got in the league. So his body just may be, slowing down a little bit. But anytime you got this 1-2 combination of him and Tony Pollard, that's good for your team if you can get them going. But I still think Pollard's the number one guy. Let's get into more of why I think that. Now, initially, you would have wanted him to follow the puller, and it looks like this is going to be the initial hole. Looks like it initially. But we got out here, we got a log. We got a log going out here with this tight end. Got that man sealed on this side. So the guard has, or whoever that is pulling, has to realize that and get outside. Then Pollard has to realize it and get outside. And watch the burst once he does do that. They log the guy. You got your guard coming. I think that's your guard. And watch the burst right through there. Just to run through that arm tackle. Because even though 71 missed him, if he was jogging or not, not giving full effort, that probably would have got him down. But the fact that he tried to burst through that got him another 5 yards. Another 5 yards. So he ended up about 10 yards on what probably should have been like a 5-yard gain. Especially with Peters missing that block. All right, him and Zeke in the backfield together, which probably what they should do that more often. Now, I will say Zeke missed the block. Now, I don't know how good of a blocker Zeke is, but I think he's he's strong enough and he's athletic enough to make this block. But he misses this block. And even with him missing this block, watch what Tony do. See Zeke missed the block right there? Watch Tony just explode through it. He's just going to run through it and don't be arm tackle. He would not be arm tackle because he just burst. Look at that burst. Now, that's one missed tackle. Watch this. That's another missed tackle. Levante David, a pretty good linebacker. Another missed tackle on a D lineman. Then takes that guy head on. Look at the yards after contact. So he technically is out of the 5-yard line. He was initially contacted, at the 20. So this 15 yards after contact. And you'll take that any day out of any running back. Made 3 guys miss, that extra yardage. You love it. It's going to play 4. Heavy set, like 2 tight ends on the right. And they bring the wide receiver in. Just a little dive. Simple dive. But the thing is, and I remember my old running back coach saying this a while ago, you got to be slow to the hole and explode through it. And that's what you get. Slow to it to let it develop, then explode through it. Look at that. Untouched until about 5 yards down the field. That's great blocking too now. This ain't all TP. I want to acknowledge this great blocking. That's like a 12-yard game. But now let's get to this explosive. And he had 2 really big plays back to back. All right. So initially, the play should hit right there, but Levante Davis shows up. Now I got to bounce. I see him there. Now I got to bounce it out. All right. Should hit right there. But now you got White. I think that's White right there. Now he's just going to run through White. Or run past White, not through. Run past White because of his speed. Now that's the initial contact. Initial contact is made at the 38-ish yard line. Watch him outrun these cats. Nope. Then he come back the very next play and break off a 20-yarder. Zeke not doing that anymore. At this point, Zeke just gonna lower his head and probably try to run over 45. This kid is special. And for them to do what many people think they can't do this weekend in San Francisco, Tony Pollard's going to be a big factor in it. Probably going to have to go for 100+ yards against a great defense. And if you've been here on this channel, you know how highly I think of San Francisco's defense. And for my sister, I want to say I love you. I know you and your husband probably going to go tit for tat this week because her husband's a 49er fan. But we'll see. And I appreciate you guys for coming through. What up, Big Reg? And this is my little 2 cents on Tony Pollard. When I think he's the new starting running back in Dallas. They may not see it yet, but I see it from the little bit of tape I've seen. And I think some of the fans see it too from what I saw in Vice Lombardi's chat box this week. So see you guys soon, man. I think this is going to be the last one as far as the playoffs for this week. And I'll come back to you next week with some recaps and film of the 4 games this weekend, man. So I'll see y'all Tuesday, maybe Monday or Tuesday. And peace. Big Red, you saw last year. TP was better last year too. Yeah, because his skill set is awesome. It's awesome. Speed, burst. You got moves. He can catch the ball at the back. Oh, I forgot to even mention that. He's a lot better receiver out the backfield than Zeke. So he's the guy, man. Make it be known. Let him get them carries and stop trying to hold that man back so he won't get no big contract.